Well, we need to start from the beginning, basically. What happened was, Minerva and I were going through some really tough times. Basically, I wasn't being the husband and the father I should have been. And we were going through some argumentative times, and we got into a pretty nasty argument. And what happened is, as Bishop always said, words are pretty hurtful. I spoke out and I said, "You're undesirable," which was really hurtful to her. I mean, it really hurt her bad, and it put a wall up between us, and a pretty nasty wall up. And over the time, it just made our marriage more, made us more separate. It didn't make us bond, obviously. So then, as the revival broke out, I started to attend church more. We weren't really attending church too much, and I started to attend church more, and I heard about the revival, and I started to attend church, and revival started to hit me. And then Pastor Kevin he had some videos of the revival, and I was watching them at home. And one night Minerva came up to me, she says, I want to go. And being that we had kids, that meant one of us had to stay home. So I was like, all right, I'll stay home. So she went, and then when she went,
well, I went, but I just wanted to go because I wanted to feel closer to God. I just wanted to get away from him and the kids and just go and just feel God, just touch him. So I figured, he was going and he's acting like he's changing. And I thought, but in my heart, I was like, no, he's not changing. And then let's go. But the hurt is, prior to him saying I was undesirable, was I was already feeling that. And the enemy knows what you're feeling and where you're vulnerable. And of course, every woman always wants to be, loved. And I just felt like I was just a servant, and I was a stepping mat, and it was horrible. It was a horrible life for me, and I wanted out. But I just felt, you know what, I'm gonna go. And he says, well, I'm going too. And I said, well, then I'm staying. So, if one of us goes or one of us stays, I'm not going to go with you. I don't want to go with you. So he stayed home, and I guess praying. And I went to the revival. And everybody was talking about it, this revival, and I just thought, well, I'm just going to go and see what's going on. And I didn't really think God was going to touch me that day or touch me at all, because I was undesirable, and I just felt like I was just a nobody. All my quiet times, I cry every night. He knows it. I would just go into the basement every night and cry, because the whole house was sleeping, but I wasn't, because the enemy works on your mind, and he works on your mind, and he just tells you you're no good. Look at you, you're not even a good wife. You don't even have any children. You had to adopt them. And he just worked on my mind, and I was undesirable. So I go to the service that day, and I'm sitting there, and to tell you the truth, I didn't know what the service was about. It was God. It was all God. It was God's service. It was God's service that day. People ask, what happened? I'm like, I don't know what happened. I just know that Pastor Kathy and Pastor Dave Thomas at the time, we were going through the worship. I didn't even know if we had a service. It was just the worship alone and then the songs. And I just said, you know what, God? I said, I'm going to walk up there, and I don't want nobody touching me. I don't want hands on me. I didn't want people to see me walk up there. I just wanted to walk in his presence and just be in his presence and know that I could just get closer to him, because everybody was getting close to, feeling it. I went up there, and as I got closer, and I just knelt down. I don't know if I was standing or kneeling, or somebody touched me, and I went down in the spirit. But down in the spirit, the hurt, all I felt was hurt and pain and things going through me. And I don't even know if they said I was hurting. I tried to get up, and I couldn't. I was like actually nailed to the floor. The Holy Spirit was on me, literally, where I couldn't move. And all I kept saying was, oh my gosh, I can't move. I said, God, this is you. I can't move. But I'm feeling things pulling out of me, and just hurts and pain. And I actually had pain, like if somebody was actually hurting me, but it was a hurt coming out. And I could hear everybody around me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Lord, I says, what are you doing? You know, why am I still here? Why can't I get up? I'm thinking this, because you could hear all around you and people are all around me. And I just felt like, okay, what's going on? But then I remember Pastor Carol or somebody came up to me and
What I was told, because I was home, is
Yeah.
that she tried to get up several times, and every time she tried to get up, the Holy Spirit would nail her back down to the ground. And finally she was able to put her hand up, and she said, Pastor Carol, Pastor Carol. Pastor Carol was on I believe they were up on stage off to the right, is what I was told. And Pastor Carol she turned around and looked at her. Minerva said, hurting women. It's about hurting women. And Pastor Carol pointed at her and said, no, you're the hurting woman. And then she went down again.
It went down again. So
And then the pastor or bishop had told me that back then there was no big thing about cell phones. Hardly anybody had them. So he was saying, anybody got a cell phone? I want to call Will, because I guess he had talked to her on stage, you know, and because he had went up there and was talking to her, and they got a cell phone. They flipped it open, and Minerva called me. I was talking to her. She said, I love you. And only God can do that. You got to watch your words, that's for sure. You don't think they hurt as much as they do, but yeah, you say things out of anger, and you say things that you don't really mean from your heart, but you don't know what you did to somebody else in the meantime. But yeah, so I guess the thing of it was that she was so hit by the Holy Spirit that she couldn't even drive home that night.
I couldn't walk.
They had to bring her home, and actually her sisters, and I think
hold
my
me
brother-in-law Dave, I think they had to carry her and bring her into the house. They had to leave the car at the church, and she come home. It was like she was at some kind of like she was drinking. I mean, she was so drunk in the Spirit.
Drunk in the Holy Spirit.
She was just like, you know, and yeah, that was definitely a God moment. I mean, something that I created, a mess that I created, God didn't say, well, you know what, you created is handling your own. He actually went in there and restored what was really broken. Yeah.
I remember getting off the floor, but then I was like, whoa, you know. I said, what is going on? I mean, the Holy Spirit stayed with me all through the night.
Yeah.
He just stayed with me. I mean, when I got home, I was just like, I gotta lay down. I still couldn't get up, and I still couldn't walk. The power of God was so strong that nobody could stand in His presence. Nobody. I mean, there's just to be that close was enough to know that my God was real. He was real to me that night. He was real in our relationship. He was real to me that He valued me, and I was His daughter, and those words were erased, and we're together. We're together to this day because of the Holy Spirit that night coming on me and just resting on me. And like I said, I don't remember the service. I don't remember the sermon. I don't remember if we had one. I just remember God.
This has definitely become a memorial stone in our marriage, because there's a lot of times when we go through things, and I know even not together, we maybe even said it, but I know there's a lot of times when I think about what God has done. Because I'd love to sit here and say, oh, it's been great ever since, but we still have gone through our struggles, and you know the struggles and everything we've gone through. And just the hard times. I mean, everybody goes through, I mean, with kids and everything like that. And a lot of times we know that God intervenes, He's there for us and pulls us through, and so many times we look back on that and we hold on to that because it was an awesome day, awesome testimony, what God done in our lives.
It's our memorial stone.
It is. It's a memorial stone to, be with us
and
always.
people to this day still ask,
yeah,
whatever happened that night? I'm like, I don't know. I just can't explain it, but if power of God ever touched you, I would never go down like that. I said, you never know when the power of God is on you. It's just when He's just with you.
And that's the thing. Minerva was always the type that, never got slain in the Spirit, never really, I wouldn't say she didn't believe in it, but hey, if it's going to happen, God's going to have to do it. I mean, we both believe like that. We're not going to put on a show. And when it happened to Minerva, I knew for sure, because she was never like that. I'm not going to put on this. And when it happened, believe me, there was things that happened that night that only God had known. Nobody knew. And He restored that night instantly what, I destroyed over time. And I mean, God forgave me, she forgave me, and we move on. We don't sit there, but we do glorify God on it. We definitely do.